Hello and welcome, each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach therapist from DCTcentre, and joining me today is two beautiful ladies, Morganne Rayne Adept, visionary spiritual guide, ceremonialist and artist, and Alisha Ann Kingrey, empath on a mission to help other empaths achieve financial freedom in order to follow their dreams. So, hello, beautiful ladies.
Good
Hello.
morning.
Okay, maybe for those who don't know, remind people what you're doing, yeah? Morgan, let's start from you. Remind people what you're doing for those who don't know you.
Well, I've been a spiritual counselor for almost 40 years, actually more than 40 years, helping people remember who they are, helping them learn how to create. I work with releasing trauma events from people's lives, past lifetime, current lifetime. I do a lot of spiritual work. I do a lot of ceremonies, weddings, blessings, memorials, celebration services. So I'm here to bring light and love, and that's my mission on this planet at this time to help everybody awaken to remember who they are. And yeah,
Yeah,
that's me.
and Morgan and I already have 15, I think, shows together. So, Morgan's
Mhm.
wisdom, you all can come and look on my DCT Center channel on YouTube. And hello, Alisha Ann. Can you please
Hello.
tell everybody who you are and what you do?
So, long story long. So I have been awake most of my whole life. I had no idea what awake meant. I just knew that I was different than every other person that I knew. I also knew that I had guides and stuff with me my whole entire life. Um, and as I get older, I guess maybe that's a part of it, but I really started getting huge into meditation and more spiritual things. I now feel like I'm in the place that I am supposed to be spiritually, slowly evolving towards who I really am every day. And the biggest problem that I see in the world is that people have to, their heads are so wrapped around 3D existence that they can't wake up and be who they really need to be. So that's where my job comes in, and the part about helping people attain wealth so they can follow their dreams and really live the existence that they're supposed to have.
Okay, then uh, how we can get this existence and how we can put all this together with spirituality, because many people have this idea you have to be poor to be spiritual.
Me and a girlfriend were just talking
Why?
about that same thing yesterday. You have to be, you know, like Jesus wandering in the woods and have nothing and have that.
bare
That's
bare feet, some sort of robe on you, and you wandering bare feet around without nothing. So that's idea of spiritual
Actually,
person in many people.
and actually, I think that that part about Jesus wandering around poor, I think that's a myth. Jesus
I do too.
actually was associated with extremely wealthy people. Jesus traveled all over the place and he was welcomed into many very wealthy people's homes. Trained in the lamasery. The man knew how to be on this world, in this world, and receive the riches of heaven in this world. He did not slave for a job. He fulfilled his mission, and everywhere he went, he was cared for. So I just want to bring that up, because sometimes when people talk about Jesus, they don't really know what they're talking about, because they hold Jesus as some poor experience, but that wasn't the truth of him at all. He lived a very wealthy, wonderful life, and of course he had a tragic end, but his message still lives in the world of love and forgiveness, and asking the Father within, the presence of God within you. So he came and taught us some wonderful things. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that my Jesus, he was a rockin' rich renegade. and I love that image of him, because he was a powerful presence in our world.
Life is all about perspective, right? Jesus brought fourth dimensional existence into a third dimensional world. And a lot of people didn't understand him, because if you're not awake, you don't understand this stuff. He had everything. I mean, if you could turn water into wine, if you could make fish appear from nowhere and bread, you can feed the masses. This is not a person who's struggling with the concept of lack in a 3D environment. This is a person who was literally trying to bring Christ consciousness to the world and saying, look, literally, and why didn't he drive the Mercedes, and why didn't he have the fancy clothes? I'll tell you from personal experience, I literally have no attachments now. Where I am at this point, I did have attachments when I was younger. I thought I had to have the huge Suburbans and have the, expensive clothes and bags, but where I am right now, going into ascension, 1 foot in 3D and 1 foot in maybe 50. I don't know. We'll talk about it, but I have absolutely no attachments to this world whatsoever. There's nothing that I need on this planet. And Jesus was there. That's his whole message, was don't be so attached to the things of this world.
I think we have to start relearn everything, because absolutely all was told us is not true.
Right.
So even about Jesus, everybody you would speak to would say that it is poor guy dressed very poorly and with no money, and here we see that Jesus actually was rich, so I think we have to relearn absolutely all history.
Well, so if you think about how that history was, go ahead.
I heard you guys talking. When I came in, you ladies were already talking. How are you guys feeling right now? Is there anything different in your life? Is anything changing for you ladies?
I sleep quite badly, and I have lots of memories coming up. Like it's not, especially at nighttime in the dreams, coming up lots of previous memories, previous history, but in different ways. And even when I'm waking up, I feel like I've been visiting my past. in some weird way, but it's not attaching to me anymore. Like I feel I'm let this past go. That's gone. That's been and gone, and that's the like last visit of this past. That's my feeling when I'm waking up.
So maybe that's a part of you letting go of attachments or healing or something going into the ascension.
Very possibly.
I know for me, suffering is a huge word. So I guess I won't say suffering, but I am I'm 100% a fish out of water right now. I almost can't cope. I sleep most of the day now, which is not like me. I'm always such a high energy person. I'm going and doing and this and that. I mean, if there's nothing else to do, I'm scrubbing baseboards or something. Now there's nothing that brings me pleasure. Not food, there's no entertainment that I used to, jump on Netflix and watch a good movie. I can't do that anymore. I can't enjoy anything. There's nothing in this existence that brings me any kind of pleasure. I can't eat like I used to. I'm just I just feel like a fish out of water. Like I don't belong here. I'm waiting for this to be over. I'm really
What
having a
about
hard
you,
time
Morganne?
coping.
Well, for me, I definitely identify the frequency shifts that are definitely occurring, and been very awake to that for many decades, actually, as I did ascension work even back in the 80s, as we were moving into this group. As we're looking at frequency and this frequency shift, what will happen are exactly what you ladies are talking about, right? Sleep shifts, sleep patterns, no longer enjoying the 3D experiences, because we already know within us I want to call it like the glory of heaven, right? That is so much more. 3D is such I want to say almost a dumbed down version of what reality really is. And because it's attached to so many lower frequencies, that suffering piece, I actually will talk about it, because if we can identify where we are suffering, we can so clearly see what we're attached to. And that's the beauty of tapping into your feelings. So, Alisha Ann, you said, how are you ladies feeling, right? So go to that feeling, especially those feelings of suffering, identify, then you have the opportunity to release it and let it go. So, and that's what they come up for. You want to invite up all those frequencies or those limitations that we're experiencing at time and individually and on life. Want to definitely call them forward so that we can clear them out of our whole matrix of being, our body temple, our emotional temple, our mental, our spiritual temple. All that aspect will hold that frequency of suffering if we do not, one, identify it and release it and let it go. And suffering is such a great way to see what you're attached to in the earthly realm. And that's the most beautiful time that you can just say, oh, I see I have been attached. I'll give you an example. One of the places where I kept suffering was around wanting my family to look a certain way. Oh, it's just like I had, I was raised in the beaver cleaver age, right? Father knows best. The whole pattern that was cut out for us to follow. Well, that's not truth, right? So when my family doesn't show up the way that I want it to, I look at that and I'm suffering around it. And that's where I get to say, oh, well, this is how my family is. This is the way we are. And be in acceptance and appreciation of right where it is, rather than hanging on to what I wish or what it could be, or if they would only change, then it would make me feel better. So that's just like living a lie. So I do like to bring up those words like suffering and shame and all that, where we may be stuck in our growth. So and if we're looking at money, right, there's a lot of shame around money. You talked about earlier, like so many people in poverty. Well, throughout in the work that I've done, and I've worked with so many people, and if we do timeline work or past life work, inevitably it comes up with a vow of poverty somewhere in there, where it aimed for us to live a meager existence and wait for the payoff, getting into heaven. That's just great. That there again, that's part of that religiosity training that they gave us. That's just absolute bullshit. And we got to call it bullshit and go back and remember what the truth is. Okay, I'm done preaching.
We have to be angry. Yeah. We have to be angry because they steal the money from us, and then they tell us to be a good person. You just have to accept it, that you have no money, and I can't accept it anymore. I think that's part of what I'm going through right now, is I'm so angry at the whole situation. I cannot go along with it for one more day.
I'll just say, a lot of people, I just want to say this around anger. Anger is a powerful leverage for shifting you into a higher consciousness. People don't know that about anger. It is so filled with juicy energy. And what that anger is saying is, I can't take what this is anymore. I know that there's something better. And you're kind of straddling in that point of, do I take this beautiful anger energy and shift my whole awareness up into a higher consciousness of being? Or do I let it suck me back down? So I just pulled out the map of consciousness. I know I've used this on Daiga's show before. I don't know if you can see it, but anger, it calibrates at 150. Well, that's kind of a low calibration, but I'll tell you what, it's a far cry from shame or blame, which calibrates at 20. So use that anger energy to, you are so beautifully, Alisha Ann, you've taken that like, I'm moving into what the truth is around wealth. You've taken that energy in a beautiful way with funds and its parent company. You've taken that energy and you've caught the vision, and you not only lifted yourself out of it and your family, you are lifting so many people out of that consciousness of poverty. I just want to say thank you for doing incredible work in our world. So powerful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Talking about, we are fed up about what's happening now, and we want to change. How long, ladies, you think we will have to keep up with everything like in world at the moment? Because so many people now is starting to talk about something about 2034 will be we end or arrive to that place where we will be happy and prosperous and abundant lives will be in only 2034. That's another 12 years in front of us. Do you agree with this?
I don't. I mean, and Morganne can probably give us a lot more information than I can, because of her being a spiritual healer and stuff. The thing that I know is, and I've had to go within a lot lately, because you get people that are sharing information. I'm following what the white hats are doing. I'm following, and then you get conflicting information. No, this is a scam. This is not happening. There's good and bad forces really, really working hard against each other right now. So what I've had to do is really, really be aware of mindfulness and read the energy in my world, read the energy around me. And from what I can feel, for one, there's too much truth being exposed right now for us to go any more time. Everything has to stop. The system that we've been under, the evil regime that's been ruling this 3D existence, it can't go anymore. It just can't. It's everything. I feel in my spirit that everything will soon come to a head, because we can't, the abuses, the children, the trafficking, it cannot go any longer. And too many people are exposed to the truth. Everybody is angry now, which, like Morganne showed us, is raising the vibration as a collective. People are standing up collectively and saying no more. People are seeing truths that they've never seen before. This is such a huge time for me, because I've been beating my head against the wall for the majority of my life and trying to talk to people, and people think you're crazy.
Just now, while you said about this anger and connected to Morganne, what was saying, before, my download, what I get was, that will be the awakening for people, because I couldn't understand. I don't see all sleepers waking up, like finding out bits and pieces about something, but now they starting to squeeze, like petrol prices, gas, electricity, everything goes up enormously. And people get more and more and more and more angry about all this. I think that's the actually plan, how to wake up those sleepers. If you squeeze them that way, they will have to be angry. If there is no understanding and love and light in them, then at least anger will push through.
Right. And Morganne, I'm hearing a lot of light workers, starseed, psychics. A lot of people are talking about, we've already had several smaller solar flares hit the planet, but I'm hearing at about the end of October sometime, there's supposed to be a major solar flare. And I think that may really kick us.
And we've been in solar flare ejections, which is great. So that really messes with the energy grids of everyone, which I think is a great thing. Let's just shake it up a lot, right? I want to comment. I have two comments. The first one I want to say is, have you ever heard of the 100th monkey? Anyone hear of the 100th monkey?
No.
Okay, so there was a study done on these monkeys on this island that were they dug up sweet potatoes, and these monkeys forever were digging up their sweet potatoes and eating them. And then one day, one of the monkeys went to the river and washed sweet potato and then ate it. And then another monkey went down to the river with him, washed the sweet. Monkeys are eating washed sweet potatoes. Pretty soon, the whole island, they call it the 100th monkey, 100 monkeys out of the river washing their sweet potatoes. So they shifted from a routine or a practice they had of just eating their potatoes out of the dirt. Now they're realizing, oh, these potatoes maybe taste better after they're washed, and we eat them. So what happens, that critical mass happens, that 100 monkey happens. What happened was on another island with no communication between the monkeys other than just that ego field, that energy field, that flock mentality. All of a sudden, the monkeys are washing their potatoes. So what this shows us is that, right? This shows us that the more that we stay committed to a better wash potatoes, accepting better, accepting greater, it can't help because we live in Sir George Trevelyan called it group ego, or like a mass ego consciousness. And you can see that like with birds flying, because like they follow each other. They like when they turn, they all turn together. And if you've ever seen a murmuring of birds, man, that's just like magnificent to watch.
Yeah, they're
that's
so
really
synchronized.
Ego so synchronized, but we too, we're synchronized. Okay, so this is the second point I want to. Okay, so there's the more that's why so many people are waking up, because some of us came here awake. I came here awake, aware, ready to boogie in the spiritual world all my life. That's how I was created to be. Okay. Yes. Daiga too. She's remembering. Okay, so this is we are creators. Take a breath in. We are creators. And if we don't wake up and remember that we're the ones that create our reality, see, for so long with the religiosity, they disempowered us because we weren't the creators. What we had to go to upper echelon to go get prayers. We had to go to that priest or that rabbi or whatever, right? That was a stuff. We have direct connection to source, direct connection to source. We don't need intermediary. We are the creators. So good. Just about the financial system. Little late to the game, but I think we can pull this off, right? That's the energy that they need to out of the I call it the slave system. But we as creators are developing and dreaming and a place what it is we want, what it is we truly want for everyone, not just for those little few people. We are creators. So what are we creating? So those are the 2 points I wanted to bring up about the 100th monkey. We are reaching that critical mass. So many people are wake up. See a community, and I've shared with everyone that in my community, it's very much a community. And it's like, how did I get here? I'm here to be influenced and to love and to stay awake so that I can help others wake up as things are coming to light. When that 100th monkey hits this community, it's going to, and I already see it happening. I see the energy of people going, oh, I think this was bullshit. I think that was bullshit. right? So if we can go back and remember that we are creators, that we're the ones who create this reality. So when someone gives me a year, 2035 is when this will, I call that a limitation bullshit thing too, because you're saying, because right now is prosperity. Right now is abundance. Right now is love. It's not in the future. It's right now. And when we live from that present moment, then our creatorship comes right online, and we're in it. We can't do it from the past, because if we try to create from the past, we're just going to get more of the past. If we try to create from the future's not even happened yet. You got to bring all that energy to the present moment now. Get in your body temple, figure out what you're feeling, release what needs to be released, accept what's being put in, and you become a masterful creator. Okay, that's it.
And you could even take it a step further. Let's go one notch deeper into the comment that you just made. Now, Daiga, let's say, just for example's sake, that they didn't plan on doing the reset and Nasara and all this stuff until 2035. That was the original plan. However, all of us light workers, star seeds, we're all beaming right now, full of crazy energy, because we are getting excited. We feel it. Now we're laying in bed at night and we're feeling, okay, oh my gosh, soon when Nasara gets here, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. Now we're collectively in a whole different energy. And we've sped up the process, possibly. Not saying that's what happened, but possibly that's what's going on. All of us as a collective are having these daydreams and night dreams and what the world is going to look like and what heaven on earth would actually be. Wow, what it would be like if I didn't have to run from the IRS anymore. What would it be like if I had all natural, healthy, wholesome foods and I didn't, have to kill other sentient beings to give myself nutrition? Like, we're all thinking about all of this stuff, and we are making it happen faster. We are bringing it into fruition now through our creative minds.
I think I was
and through that collective of the, and through I'll just finish this, and through the collective of the group ego, like the 100th monkey, like, right? So we're all getting that, what? I don't need to be a part of the slave system. What have they been doing? It's like there's the anger piece that will get you to propel. Well, then what is possible? I love that phrase. What is possible now? So that's creatorship. Okay, go ahead, Daiga.
No, I wanted to say that I was watching Elizabeth April. She is from America, I think. And she is astro traveling. And she had this
nice.
astro traveling experience from one of the ships above us. Yeah, how Earth actually looks like, and every single person like us, yeah, who is fully awake, is like a light, like a beam in the dark. Yeah, we all lighting up. We literally lighting up only on our being. We don't need even do anything particular. But only with our being, we lighting up like beams of light, all planet. We are all in the right points, apparently. That's what she was telling. That we are in the right point. Everybody is moved in ways where they have to be, and which, like me, why I'm not in Latvia, why I moved to England for all this, yeah. Apparently there is reason why I'm here, yeah, instead of being in Latvia, yeah. Because in Latvia I most definitely won't get so much information how I managed to get knowing the English and accessing all what I can access here, all courses and all teachers, excellent teachers like Morgan and you and many, many others I've been learning from. In Latvia, I won't be able to do that, but I can feed back to my, like, even those people who watching my videos is mostly Eastern European. Yeah. So I'm feeding it back to them, all this information. So
The universe puts us where we have to be all the time. All the time. There's been times in my life where I literally have gone through suffering, literally suffering, loss, abuse. I had a very, very tumultuous childhood and into my adulthood, because of course that was my reality. And so, you know, you put yourself with those same people when you're grown, that's who you resonate with, and it just keeps carrying on. But you know, I look back and oh my gosh, I remember when I was young, even when I was a small child, 7 or 8 years old, I saw my guides. I knew that they were there, and I used to cry to them. And why is my life like this? Why does this stuff happen to me? Why can I not get out of this situation? But looking back over my life, the hardest times were the times that pushed me forward spiritually. I was never in love with this 3D existence because I never had a good life. This 3D existence did not treat me well. I was always an outsider. I didn't get attached to things like other people did, because I was between the hurt and the pain. There was just nothing on this earth that would have ever made me feel good. But look, because I was outside, and see, I had a lot of nurturing from my guides. They used to talk to me. I saw things. I had conversation with guides ever since I was a small person. So I was always being pulled to the spiritual side. The 3D existence didn't give me anything. So I always left that, and I always tried to get in touch more with my spiritual side. And I never, all of it is making so much sense now. It's because I was a light being. I came to the planet for right now. This is my mission right now.
I think I don't know how it's about you. You probably already 100% set in your mission. I think I have to wait little bit. No, my mission is started because I started this YouTube videos. I'm doing my client work. Yeah, that's all that. But I'm thinking about healing center. And for healing center as such, I need funding. So I am one of those who is waiting for that moment when we can cash in those currencies, yeah, when they beat this RV. So I think my mission 100% will step in at that moment when the change will be, because I'm absolutely ready, like, to go. Yeah, tell me I have after a week I have appointment. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm more than ready. Yeah, so I think my mission is like that.
And in the meantime, while you wait for a revaluation to occur, in the meantime, you're still living in prosperity. You're still living in, it's just opening to it. It's opening, like whoever, you know, has dinar or dong or zim or whatever, when that RVs, it could RV today, it could RV next week, it could RV in 10 years? We don't know. That's earth business, right? That's all earth business. We still live in the sacred spiritual realm where all is given to us. So that's part of that creatorship. If we get tethered to an RV, you're going to have a lot of I've held dinar for 20 years, right? I was told this is going to be next week, right? Years later, I still have dinar sitting in a box, which is fine. If it RVs, it RVs. I'm not attached to it because that's an earth realm expression of money. I'm more interested in being attached to source, which is an infinite expression of all that I need in order to live a life here, awake, aware. So it's a shift in consciousness, which I think is critical, right? Let's take it back to the 100th monkey. If all we little monkeys holding denominations that could be RV'd, if we started saying, okay, well, that's over here. If we just started, every one of us, like living in the consciousness of prosperity and wholeness, that RV doesn't have an anchor on us. It becomes well, it's there, right? It's like seeds. But in the meantime, while everyone's waiting for that to happen, still be prosperous. Still do your good work in the world. Still do. Does that make sense?
Yes, of course.
Let me ask you something. Getting into detail about the monetary system and all of that. Now, monetary, whether it be digital or anything at all of that is a 3D vehicle for survival. There's several different dimensions going on at the same time, right? We have several different realities going on at the same time. And we're at a space and time that the line has been drawn in the sand. You are either awake and ascending to 4th and 5th, or you're not awake, you're staying asleep. And I believe that you will be still in the 3D existence, and you will have to go through it, reincarnations, until you do become awake. I was meditating just before we started this, and I was getting so many amazing messages. I was asking questions. How does this work? How does that work? So a lot of what I was seeing is those of us who are light beings are going to be the helpers of the people who either are just moving into 4D, or, because a lot of people who are sleeping will instantly be awake when either you call it the solar eclipse or the sun flash or whatever is going to happen at the end of October. I believe a lot of sleepers are just bam. I mean, our DNA is going to be ignited. We're going to be hit with information right away. But maybe the people who are newly waking up, they're not going to know what to do with it. They're going to need the older light beings to assist them to, for one, I believe there's going to be a lot of fear in the coming events. So us light workers are going to have to really help people, guide people, talk to people, maybe start meditation groups or whatever. I'm not sure what's going to happen to 3D existence. I'm not sure if I'm not even sure. I didn't hear anything about my guides from that. I don't know where they're going. But I know that there's no place for 3D like the light workers, those of us who are doing this work already, we can't continue to stay in 3D. We have to reincarnate to a higher ascension, to a higher dimension. But yeah, we have to be. So we are the guides of the people who are just coming into awakening, just like I said, maybe after the flash, or be it a dream or something that wakes them up. We have to be meditating. We have to be mindful. We have to be going within to be strong enough so we can help the people that are just coming into the knowing. The people that are just coming in. So what is your take on
True
the whole
that.
thing, Morganne? With the third dimension, the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, have you heard anything at all about what's going to happen with all of it?
Well, I can only go back to what my guidance shows me, right? Because there's a lot of information out there, and you really have to discern and careful. I mean, I grew up in the Baptist church, right? There were a lot of lies perpetrated in that, in that, right? So you have to be very awake and aware, and be ready to be ready to challenge established ideas and beliefs. Regarding dimensions, how my guidance has shown me is it's more like frequency. So it's not like we're going to go to the fifth dimension and that it's like this place called the fifth dimension. I think it's another realm. Like I hold the earth as a realm. I don't as a planet. It's a frequency. It's a realm of consciousness, of experiencing spirit dense down into denser energy to have a different kind of experience. The 3D realm, there's nothing wrong with the 3D realm. It's just an experience. It's how people have used the 3D to enslave others. And that's where now with consciousness, like where are we enslaving ourselves? And where have you allowed others, institutions, churches, governments, all of that, where have you allowed that to enslave you? So it's not that 3D was created to be a planet of enslavement. It was manipulated into that through people who took advantage of that. Entities, people, whatever they were, that took advantage of it and established. I tell you, they were brilliant in their plan, right? So they managed to enslave a whole world of humanity, right? But that's because we weren't awake. We believed others. So this is our opportunity to we are spiritually, we're coming back online. What is the dimensions? The fourth dimension is all about emotions, all about how we feel. So if you look at dimensions in terms of energy, that fourth dimension is really the feeling nature of who we are. So that's why it's so important to know, how am I feeling? Identify those feelings. Fifth dimension is a place of getting really connected to your heart and getting connected to the oneness that we are. There's multiple, what they call dimensions, but there's multiple frequencies of consciousness. And I don't know about you. Have you ever heard about bringing heaven on earth? Right? There's that consciousness of having heaven on earth. Let me move this pup. She wants kisses. So when we bring the consciousness of heaven on earth, well, what is heaven? So we have to identify, what does that mean? Who was speaking it? What did they mean by heaven, right? So if I'm asked, well, what are you doing to bring heaven on earth? I have to identify the meaning of heaven, right? So that's, for me, that means I'm bringing the consciousness of unconditional love. And I say that's very different than just love. I'm bringing the consciousness of no judgment. I am bringing the consciousness of awakening. I am bringing the consciousness of that we are light beings. That's why the woman that you were talking about, Daiga, she's now seeing as light beings of light, because that's what we are. And that we have been under is lifting away, so that our light is becoming more and more brilliant and more exposed. So in
Right. We're
terms
not
of
dim anymore.
see the whole thing as we are moving into a different frequency. So when my book, if we look at the map of consciousness, which I love using, we can look at the higher dimension. I invite anyone who you can go on the internet and look at this. It's Dr. David Hawkins' work, The Map of Consciousness. And I feel so blessed because he got to be my teacher for a while. So I got it from the source. I love going to the source.
You have met some really amazing people in your life.
I have. I've had powerful associations with beings who walk this earth bringing light, love, and consciousness. And I've associated with those people for 40 years, just doing the same work, creating programs that people can go into, creating teachings and curriculum that people can begin to embrace to awaken and increase their frequency into more light, more love. If you're looking at the map of consciousness, we talked about that anger piece, right? Being a higher frequency than shame or blame. Well, that's already shifting you into the fourth dimension. Is a fourth dimension experience, because we are, it is a deep feeling nature. When you can use that energy consciously, that's the big word right there, consciously. If we use it consciously, then it can elevate us up into a higher frequency. If we do it unconsciously, that anger will de-evolve us and bring us back into shaming and blaming, and then drag our whole frequency way down into the dent. So that's how I hold dimensions. I don't see them as a place. I see them as a frequency.
That's like Joe Dispenza talks about. When your head and your heart collide, you are an absolutely unstoppable force.
Amen. Yeah, that's the what they talk about in counseling. It's the longest journey from the head to the heart. The longest journey, but it's the journey that we must take, because our head is what the thinking realm, is what you gather from all the manifest world. The heart lives in spirit.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. Yeah, I never thought of it that way before, but that is true. I woke up 3 nights ago in the middle of the night. It was still dark in the house, and the whole crown of my head was vibrating. Have you ever heard of that before? Just vibrating, just like that. Just the whole, but I could tell it was just the crown, just, about right up here, the top of my head was just vibrating.
Third eye
at the same time.
Right, third eye activation.
At the same time, Sam started talking in his sleep like crazy. I don't know what he was saying. It didn't make any sense. When we woke up in the morning, I said, "Hun, did you have a bad dream, or what did you dream about?" And he said, "I don't know." He didn't have any memory of it, but it was so weird that at the same time, both of us, that we were kind of in sync. I just happened to wake up and go through my experience. It was really tingling. I mean, like somebody was shaking my head, and I just laid there and I just went with it. And then, I don't know, within just a few minutes, it went away. And then I went back to sleep like nothing. But It was, I've never experienced anything like that before. It was very refreshing. It was very nice.
I call those recalibrations, and it moves you back into your divine frequency, because you've been doing that work, right? So your third eye gets cleaner and more open. Your pineal gland, which, see, all of that is this whole area, right? That's all our connection to source. That's all our connection to source. From the neck down is our connection to the world, except for the heart. The heart connects us. It's the intersection point, right? So when you look at the cross in Christianity, it intersects to bring spirit into form, into manifest form. So, but when you're working with higher, and that's what's happening right now to higher frequency beings, their whole upper chakras, the pineal gland and the crown chakra, are totally being recalibrated, cleaned, cleared, and ready for moving into that higher frequency.
I'm ready.
I think we all are ready. Morganne, we will have today some manifestation, not but meditation. That's what I wanted to say. Are you prepared?
Would you like meditation?
Yes.
It's not very nicely. It's sourcing. Yeah. In the so I'm just connecting to guidance. Guidance is asking me to ask Alisha, what is the topic of the meditation?
You know, what I heard from my guides today was just mindfulness. That was the number one thing that kept going through my head. I meditated with a friend that came over last night. Today I spent some time with guides, and I keep getting go within. Right now it's a really important time to go within, to be mindful. And I'm tingling as I'm talking about this. Learn to appreciate every single experience, whether it be, you know, we came here for an experience, but we forget it. We rush through the dishes so quickly. We rush through the laundry so quickly. Now it's taking me twice as long to do things, because I'm aware of how the water feels on my hands when I'm doing the dishes, and how I'm scrubbing the dish, and I'm in every moment now so intimately. It's I would just implore people to get to this situation. This is living. When you can just be, and it doesn't take a TV that's gonna, you know, keep your attention for a while. It just life. Notice your breathing, notice your environment, appreciate when you're hot, appreciate when you're cold, appreciate when you're sitting, appreciate when you're standing. Like, life is so amazing when you're mindful of every experience. Slow down, take a breath, and just be mindful. Just be.
Beautiful. Daiga, you had started to say something. Would you complete that thought before I do meditation?
No. I don't want to say anything. Alisha Ann already say summary of everything what we talked today. So let's go for meditation.
Okay, beautiful. We're going to start the first part of this mindfulness meditation by bringing your awareness to the bottom of your feet. Feel and experience what the bottom of your feet feel like. And if you're wearing shoes, what does it feel like in your shoes? And you may want to take your shoes off because that keeps you from getting actually grounded. So just bring your attention to your bottom of your feet. Feel and experience what the foot, where it's attached to. What is it touching? Feel and experience if there's feelings. Are your feet tingly? Do you feel the heel of your foot, or do you feel the toes? Take a breath in. Slowly bring that breath to the feet. Take a breath in. And the feet. And let that breath go. Continue to bring your awareness to the bottom of your feet and how they are attached to the world. And this time we're going to take a mindful breath into the mindful experience of your feet. And as you take this next breath in, imagine that air just traveling up through your nose and down through your lungs and even going past that into your feet. Take a breath with me mindfully. And hold that breath at the bottom of the feet. And as you let the breath go, imagine the air as you breathe it out, that energy is traveling out the bottom of your feet. Breath out. This time we're going to take a breath and we're going to imagine, it's true, but we as humans employ that beautiful gift we have of imagination. It's not that we're making it up. What we're doing is seeing the possibilities of what can be. So in this possibility of what can be, imagine that the air that is all around you is imbued with sacred light. Just imagine that. And maybe see particulates of beautiful sparkles in the air in your mind's eye. See that all around in the air. Take that breath in very slowly so that you're breathing in particulates of spiritual sacred light. Breathe that in down the feet. And hold it at the bottom of the feet. And release the breath. Now we're just going to check in with the whole body temple. And I call our bodies our body temple. We also have an emotional temple. We have a sacred mental temple. We have a spiritual temple and a soul temple. So we have all these aspects, and I call them temples because this is where we reside, and to begin to elevate the consciousness that our bodies aren't just bodies. They're sacred vessels of light and love. They house our spirit and our soul. So bring that awareness to your body temple. Take a breath in. My body is a temple of sacredness, of light, of love, and let the breath go. And just settle into your body, bringing awareness to your physical body temple, not just your feet anymore. Experience your legs and your body. Experience your arms. How are they feeling? How are your hands feeling this day? Are your hands open? Are they closed? Try opening them if they are closed. Try closing them if they are open. Just experience what this beautiful body temple has the capacity to do with the power of your thought. Bring your awareness fully and completely to this present moment where there is no more past, that's gone and over. So if you're looking at this experience, this world we live in, all that is occurring that we see, the chaos and all that, that's already occurred. That's already done. That's over now. That's a past manifestation. And we just let that go and bring our attention to the moment and what's possible right now. What's possible right now? Think of one thing that could be possible right now. Take a breath in. Anchor that thought into your body, your mind, your heart, your being, and let the breath go. I bring forth the possibility that we are, as humanity, all awake. Imagine that possibility that we're all awake now. So in your mind's eye, in your heart, in your being, is imagine what that would be like if we were, as humanity, collectively all awake. Now take a breath into that. And hold that breath in your body temple. And let that breath of energy that humanity is all awake. We're in our creatorship now. Allow that frequency to just be beamed out of your body on the out breath. Beam out that energy to all of humanity. We are all awake. Let's do that one more time. Imagine everyone, everywhere, no exceptions. People you like, people you don't like, people you understand, people you don't understand. Doesn't matter. We are into acceptance and appreciation of every being that is created, for this is God's life. This is Creator's expression, and it is all good. Take a breath into that. It's all good. And let that breath go. Now come back into awareness of your body temple. And just kind of run through, scan through, how's your head feeling? How's that crown chakra? Is that open, connected? If it is not, let's do that now. Imagine your sacred crown chakra. I visualize it as a beautiful crown that I wear of this beautiful golden light energy. And you can imagine the same thing, this beautiful crown that reaches into infinity and is connected to the all that is, to source frequency. And just feel yourself plug into that. And that the currency of source is running into you, into your crown chakra, and it's just filling up your entire body temple with source frequency. Ooh, put that on. I got goosebumps everywhere. Let that energy go all the way down to your feet, connected to source frequency. See, already we're lifting our frequency. Already we're moving into what you would call maybe dimensions. We're living in a much higher dimension right now because this is beyond fifth dimension. This is living in source's realm. This is home. This is home. That Om word, this is home. Being connected to source. Take a breath in and affirm, I am fully connected to Source now. Hold that frequency in, let that encode in every cell of your being, and let the breath go. Get in touch with your body temple. How does it feel now? Present, awake, oxygenated, filled with what's possible now. Smile. Bring that energy of joy to your experience here. Beam it to the world through a smile and gentleness and kindness. And then I just ask everybody to move right into your heart. That intersecting point of sacred spiritual source and our world of this third dimension, which is also a sacred spiritual source. It must be good. And let's allow the consciousness of what 3D has as the gifts and the riches and the consciousness that is elevated of heaven on earth. And as we begin to just dwell into what else is possible, I'm going to just give thanks for this coming together of beautiful minds, exquisite hearts of compassion and kindness that wants everyone to awaken and experience the bliss of living a sacred life. I'm so grateful for this gathering of minds and hearts, that we can awaken more together, and that we awaken so that we can help others awaken, and that we carry this torch of God's love, God's unconditional love, and God's light. And that's who we are. And that we are, each of us, fully and completely supported in all ways because we accepted this job. Source gifts us, blesses us, enriches us, gives us all that we need in order to fulfill our mission here as light bearers, as energy workers. And that we are financially blessed, spiritually blessed, blessed in all ways we can possibly imagine, and that we are now open to receive the blessings of the sacred Creator self into our lives here as we still live in these beautiful body temples. And so I accept that that compensation of goodness for you. And I speak that word collectively for all light workers, that we are all fulfilled in all good ways, and that we release, let go any idea of struggle or truth. We let that go. That was some past programming that really didn't work out so good. So we are moving into what's truth, and that is the power and the presence of Source and God is present right now within each and every being, awakening, becoming aware, becoming clean and clear of attachments, so that we may all experience heaven present right now. In joy and love, I say, and so it. Take a breath in, come back present. How's your feet?
Wow, my whole body was tingling. I felt electricity the whole time. Right now, when I just said that, I got a rush of electricity coming down from my head.
You're plugged
That was
in.
nice.
You're plugged in. You know, one of the teaching, I think I've done this on one of Daiga's shows, is sometimes I ask my students, especially if they're new to the work I do, I'll say, how do you make toast? How do you make toast? Well, first you have to have the idea, I'd like a piece of toast. So first there's this idea, I'd like a piece of toast. And so in order to have the toast, there are things that are required to the toast. Like you need the thought idea, you need a piece of bread, right? You need a toaster, right? You need electricity, and you need a cord to plug into the source, right? So you need a cord to plug into the source, and you got to plug it in. And that's what we did today. We plugged in so that toast can happen, good can happen, heart's desires can happen.
I love toast.
Me too.
Daiga, you are muted, honey. I can see your lips moving, but I couldn't hear anything.
Yes. I wanted clear energy from Morganne and clear microphone for Morganne to do this. Thank you, Morganne. It was brilliant. Thank you. And thank you, Ivan, for joining us. Ivan is saying, this is what I need to start my day. That's awesome. I'm plugged in. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you for joining us live.
Wonderful.
Hope you enjoy every minute of it. Thank you, ladies. Alisha Ann, do you want to say something before we end?
Observe everything, react to nothing. That's the only thing that I would leave the world with. Observe everything, react to nothing.
Yeah, keep grounded.
Remember, it's all a movie. Don't get emotionally attached. All of this is just a movie. Yes. So just take notice of everything, but don't be emotionally involved in it. There's no judgment, no involvement. Just watch from the outside.
And what about you, Morganne? Is there anything else you want to say before we end?
Remember that I do. I always have a last word. Yes. Remember that we are creating the reality we want to live in. So we don't forget, don't just observe. I mean, absolutely observe what's going on. Don't react, but create, because we are creators. Just don't stand there. Think about, remember when you were kids, did your parents ever tell you, don't just sit there, do something? Right? I'm saying sit there, imagine, create, and accept. Put on your creatorship, stay plugged in. That's it.
On that note, I just want to remind everybody, if you like our video, please don't forget like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube videos, because there is many more videos like this to come and about different topics in works. So thank you very much for watching. God bless.